All right, so right now we're gonna think about how we're gonna do the tripod kind of looking legs. And in the prototype, we have three legs, so that makes us think we're gonna have like the shape. If we see it from below, we're gonna have kind of like the shape of a triangle. Um, at least like a little base that support the legs. Um, the legs, I want to have to be kind of like with the same system of a hinge, which would imply there's like a centerpiece that gets surrounded by two other pieces that create the hinge system. We're gonna have to think about like a lock or something that helps us stop the legs from spreading. Um, Actually, I drew it wrong. It should be uh, in the other direction. So let's think about these two little things on each one of the vertices of a triangle. And then, I mean, this is just one option, but the general idea is to have hinged tripod looking legs so we can make the lamp stand. Uh-huh. So I'm drawing this kind of shape for the leg itself, but if we see it in 3D, it would look like we're gonna have to make these out of wood. Kind of like that. Yep. You're gonna have to excuse my drawing skills with a mouse, but this is pretty much what we're looking for. We're gonna have a wooden dowel, we're gonna cut it out, and we're gonna try to make these shapes so we can incorporate it in our product. Or we can 3D print it, but it's gonna be way too long. Or we can 3D print only the cap of it, and then using a dowel here. So there are many options. But I think modifying a dowel of wood is gonna be more than enough. Okay, so these three parts, and now we're gonna have to attach this part right here, the triangular one, has to be attached to the PVC tube, which means that if we see it from the front, it's curved. So picture a triangle bent. It's gonna look. You picture a plane, on that plane you bent it, and then on that plane you think of a triangle. Now that's what we're looking for. Something like that. And also we have to think about how we're gonna attach it. So glue is one option, of course. Other option would be making three little holes so we can attach it with bolts. And I think bolts are way better since we can disassemble it if we want it and repositioning it somewhere else. So I'm gonna go with that. So yeah, this is what we're looking for, seen from the bottom. Some of the reference we have are the dowels that were used for the prototype, which I'm gonna measure right now. And they appear to be 1 centimeter dowels. That's the diameter, as long as we want. Well, not as long as we want, but quite long for this lamp. Now we're gonna make a new part, create part studio. Let's rename the part. So we start with practice. We're gonna name it tripod base or attachment or tripod. Yeah, base. Why not? All right. So we need the initial curve in which the base is gonna be set on. So we have to remeasure the PVC tube because I don't remember the diameter. It's 14.22. That's way too precise. How did I get that number? Well, we're gonna trust it. 14.22 0.22. When I go to tripod base, I'll put it at last. Scene from the front, new sketch, see from the front, and we set diameter. It's gonna be this. Oh, pretty accurate. We're not gonna build it, so that's why we need the name, the line to be construction line, just as a reference. And now we can start working here. We're gonna make another circle, just like we did the hinge part. Actually, maybe we can copy that sketch from here. Hinge curve, this sketch. Can we copy sketch? Ooh. Oh, let's see. Can I paste it? Let's get out. No. Command V, no. Paste into sketch. Ooh, we can do it. So I'm gonna get into sketch. I'm gonna delete whatever I did, and I'm gonna right click. No, get out. Paste into sketch. Haha, there it is. All right. Sketch 1 has been cancelled. Restore. All right, good. Now I'm gonna grab the center part. Okay, I need to get in. And now I can move it. Ooh. There you go. So yeah, 14, that's 2.8. I don't think that's gonna be enough. I think we should do, at least in the prototype, I'm gonna get like 5 centimeters of area at least. I mean, just to get some space. And as always, we can modify if we need to. But it's drawing it to the side, which I don't want. So you know what? I'm gonna delete these parts. Oh, I can move it. No. I'm gonna drag it to where I want it, which is gonna be here below. Just like that. Yep. I don't need this now. I don't need this. Okay, good. I'm gonna make a line from here to here to here. These two lines should be vertical. Good. And I'll center line because we can mirror. All these lines are gonna be construction lines. Good. And now I can use this tool, this little scissors trimming. So what we can do is cut the things we don't want, like these lines right here, and we just want half of it because we're gonna mirror it. And then we add a dimension line from here to here. We set 5, so it's gonna be 25 millimeters. And now we select these 3 lines and we say please mirror, but that's not the mirror line I wanted, so no, that didn't work. All right, let's do it again. I don't know why that happened. All right, so this, and this, I need them to be mirrored. Select entities to no, something's wrong. All right, that's solid. These 3 lines. What is this? Oh, I don't need this line. No, I do need it. But you know what? Just to make it clear to the software, I'm gonna draw it up to here, make it construction, and say, hey, this construction line, if it's blue, it means not fully constrained. And in fact, it's not. So let's just make it vertical. Oh, select vertical. There you go. Select line, this blue dot. Oh, it's not. So what we can do is, okay, now it's good. These 3 lines, and then grabbing a construction line is gonna give the software the idea of what kind of mirror do we want. And in fact, it did. There we go. Now, I think we should go 5 centimeters in extrusion. So we extrude, we select the sketch, and I'm gonna go backwards, which actually doesn't matter, but gives me the idea that I'm doing it the right way I want. And instead of 25, we do 50. There we go. Now we got a plaque, which we could transform into a triangle, but I'm thinking it's not really worth it. Or is it? Maybe it is. Okay, let's try. So I'm gonna see it from the top. I'm gonna draw new sketch. No triangle. I want a polygon here. Inscribe polygon or circumscribe polygon. Alright, let's do something. Let's bring this square into our sketch by saying project, select all the lines, transform them into construction lines just to have it as a reference. And now let's make a circle out of 3 points. Pum, pum, pum. Click on, oh, that didn't work. All right, let's do it again. Circle, center, ellipse, center. Okay, what we can do is, since we have a square, at least seen from the top, what we can do is get the center by making a cross in the middle, just like this. We transform that into a construction line. Now we have a central point, which we can use to create our circle. There we go. Too much stuff to make a triangle. Construction line. And now we go to polygon. We should do it circumscribe. And now I start here and I bring it up. And to change the number of sides, I just click the number 3 in my computer while I'm dragging this out. Oh. All right. So there's a triangle. Pretty small. But I mean, if we modify the extrusion, it's gonna change. So I think it's too small. All right. So I'm gonna go back to the first sketch. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna say instead of 25, let's do 8. So that would be 40 on the middle. And then the extrusion, let's see how the sketch changed. As you can see, the sketch changed only on one side, but if we change the extrusion to 80 as well, then the triangle should grow bigger. Okay, good. So we can do that. Actually, we can create a variable that changes those at the same time, but for now, let's just know we can change it by modifying those 2 parameters. All right, now we can cut our plaque by saying this sketch extrude, and instead of new and instead of remove, we're gonna use intersect, which if we cross through the extrusion that we used to have, we just say here through all, solid intersect, we should get, oh, it didn't work, faces intersect through all, that's weird, merge scope, oh, and then you click on the, oh, so that's how it works. And now we got a curved triangle, which is gonna be the base of our base, I guess. All right, so that's a curved triangle. Now, if we see it from the bottom, okay, it's gonna be tricky. Or not. Yeah, no, we got this. All right. So, we're gonna make the little hinge parts. So, just like we did here, we're going. Actually, this thickness is way better than the one I have. No, but it's the same. It's just that this thing is longer. All right. So the separation we did here, this is 4. This is 4. 4, 4, 4. Okay. All right. All right. Tripod base. Top, new sketch. And now I'm going to transfer these 3 lines into. The cool thing about projecting lines into in a new sketch is that if you modify the origin of those lines, then your whole thing gets updated, and therefore you don't have to change everything. So that's something to keep in mind. So I got this triangle, right? And now I want to create each leg pointing into one of the vertices, which would separate them 120 degrees. So let's start with the one pointing down. I'm gonna make a line, make that line a reference line, make 2 little rectangles here. Well, actually only one, we can mirror. We make a dimension from here to here, 4. The distance between this and here is gonna be half of 4, so that's 2. And if we see our original hinge from the top, let's just copy this one actually. This is 14. So we say from here to here, that's a 14. And now let's get as close as possible to the end without taking the rectangle out. I think here is fine. Actually, we can get the center of the triangle by doing the same thing to each of the sides. These lines should be construction. And I did that to get a distance from the center. I can now, something you can do in this kind of softwares is add points. So I'm gonna bring a point, put it right here in the middle. And now I can say, hey, measure from the point to here in this direction. And let's do a 12. Okay, 12. That's a round, nice number. How about 13? That's better. All right, good. 13. Yeah. Why not? Or 12. Let's go with 12. We can change that later. Uh-oh. Actually, now the sketch I'm doing is right here, and my model or my object is up until here. So what I can do is I can extrude all the way up and then cut the remainder. That's one way of doing it. The other way would be, how about we don't use that plane and we do it in a plane closer to my object. Yeah, we can do that. And that can serve us to learn how to do planes. So I can say, hey, I want a new plane based on which one? Based on this one. All right. In the other direction, and we can like hand move it. We can just drag it. I think here or here? Here. I think here. Yeah. All right. 49.9. Let's close the number. 50. All right. So we got a new plane called plane 1, but the sketch we have is in top. I'm pretty sure we can just edit the sketch to bring it to another plane. Edit. It's in top plane. We say no anymore. Now I want you to be in. Okay, so I cannot select plane 1 because the sketch was created before the creation of plane 1. So what I should do is go back in time, say sorry for what I tried to do, and then bring the sketch after the plane. And now I can edit the plane. No, sorry, edit sketch. Say no to the top plane and select the plane 1. All right, so now my drawing is closer to my part. And now I can go back to the sketch. And we're gonna learn how to use circular arrays and mirrors. So I'm gonna grab this. So, and that's something really interesting. Like, why wouldn't you draw the same thing over and over? Well, because if you decide to change something, you would have to change it in all the other instances of that same thing. But if you do a mirror and you do an array, then they are all dependent to the original one. So you can only, so if you only modify one, they would all change in real time. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna select this rectangle, this mirror line, we mirror, and there we go. Something I think I haven't said in any of the previous tutorials is if you box select from left to right, you get a blue square. And if you drag select from right to left, you get an orange square. And that may seem arbitrary, but the cool thing about that is that if you do it if you get the blue one from left to right, you only select the things that you fully enclose with the box. And if you do it from right to left, you get the orange one, you select everything that you barely touch. So in this case, you get all of this. So in this case, these little rectangles are in the middle of many other lines. So you can do the blue box, and that's way easier to select. Instead of clicking on each one of the lines with the shift selector or control, I think it's control. It would be control, no, it would be with shift. Yeah, you can do also click and shift, but that's gonna take longer. So you select all those things, these two rectangles, and then we say, hey, I want an array, a circular pattern, and then it says, well, where is the center of your pattern? Well, I want it to be here in this point that I created. Oh, and that's it. How does the thing know I want 3? If I click 4, oh, I can change the angle here, okay, to 40, and then times 3. How? I think I can. Okay, so if I say 4, oh, there it is. So you can modify it with this number right here, 3, and then you can modify the angle to 40 because I'm doing 120 and 120 to 40. So that's how it works. All right, now we know. Okay, good. Now we get these 3 parts. We extrude, or so that's how you would do it with this. I'm thinking if it's worth it, because if we extrude the whole thing, we're gonna have to do. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, let's go with that. Extrude, new, this sketch, the other side. There we go. How tall? Where? Well, I don't know. Maybe like here. That looks good. Maybe like here. 25. I like 25. Let's stay with 25. And good. All right. Now, this is the thing that I didn't like about this method, but we can get rid of these parts. All right. Now we should do a hole in the middle of these things. But if we do a hole, how do we make sure it's going to be done in the other parts as well? Well, we can create an axis, maybe. Helix, fill, offset. I think we're going to end up having to do in each one of them, which I don't like, but that may be the only way. Or all right, let's do it in one and then we see what happens. Okay, so right, top, front. Oh. Okay, let's do it here, because this is the one, as you can see, that has the shorter distance since the curve happens in this other direction. So let's work here. Let's do a new sketch on this face, and let's draw something. Let's draw a circle. I think we can do it in the center of that circle. Oh, I mean in the center of this square. Or maybe not, because if we modify the distance, it's gonna change, and I think that's gonna make it look not proportionate. So I'm gonna bring this line over with projection, make it construction line, just to have it as a reference for another line that's gonna come up from the middle, and then we create the circle that we want. If we're gonna use M3 bolts, we're gonna have to make that circle just a bit bigger to have some wiggle room. I'm gonna bring this line to construction. We're gonna have to specify how far apart. I think 5's good, or 6, maybe 6. Yeah. All right. Now we make a cut. Well, actually, let's see. Okay, let's extrude, remove. Remember to have it as a solid. Blind, let's change it to through all. And there we go. First hinge done. Now the thing that I wanted to try was to grab this operation and array it. Circular array. But the only thing that I need is an axis to which I need to rotate that. And we do have a center point in our previous sketch. And we could create an, I think we need an axis. That's the thing, we need an axis. Axis. How do I select an axis? Select mid connector. I mean, that would be the super smart way of doing it. The not so smart way of doing it would be drawing the same circle in each one of these. Dramatic pause. Alright, yeah, I think we're gonna have to draw it. So, new sketch. But I do encourage you to try to the array. Okay, so we convert that line, transform it from the center to here. Okay, we're gonna do something smart. Although we couldn't do the other smart thing, we're gonna go back to our sketch. We're gonna say edit, and this 6, instead of calling it 6, we're gonna make a variable. So we're gonna go to variable table, and we're gonna say low hinge hole. No, that's you shouldn't leave spaces between the variable name. Low hinge hole, yeah, variable, and then we click enter. And now we say this value should be 6. There we go. And now, instead of here having a 6, we're gonna look for that variable, low hinge hole. And the cool thing here is that if we want to change that distance, we don't have to click on each one of the sketches and edit it. We just modify that variable in the variable table. So here, same thing. Low hinge hole, enter, circle, and this diameter, actually, that would be great also for a variable. Let's do it. So let's go to the table, new variable, M3 hole, let's call it. M3 hole, and let's add the 4 value. And let's change it to, instead of 4, let's call it M3. There we go. So if we need to change it, wait, what? Let's change this here, high. Edit, instead of 4, let's call it M3. Good. I don't know why this looks bigger. Edit sketch. Oh, didn't change. Okay, M3. There we go. 2 enters is the thing you need. And then extrude, remove, through all, here. Last but not least, this one right here. We do new sketch. We convert this. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. We convert this line here, transform into construction line. Then we bring a line perpendicularly from the midpoint of that line. We make a circle, and then dimension of this is gonna be low hinge hole, and dimension of this is gonna be M3. Good. Extrusion, remove, through all. There we go. Good. Now we need to make it look nicer. So for that, I think we should do a fillet and select all these little edges. And now what we can modify. The cool thing about selecting all of them is that now we only move one number to change the radii. 7. 7 looks good. Oh, because it's a 14 extrusion. That makes sense. Good. There we go. Now I think we should make a chamfer here and here and here, just to make it look nicer. Yep. 45 degrees, is it? Well, it's a triangle. I don't think we need 45 degrees. For a triangle, for an equilateral triangle, I think we should do 60 degrees. Yep, that looks way nicer. All right, good. Now, to finish it off, let's see it from the back. Let's create a new sketch here in the front face. New sketch, circle from here to, well, all right, so we need to bring this line to us to have it as a reference. This whole line, this and this. Now that line, oh, actually, if we bring that line, we may not need a circle, because we can use that line as part of our sketch to cut the thing. So we got these 3 lines, right? This one, and this one. And now we can just bring it up to finish the drawing. But this one can be vertical. Just to have good practices, we should what's the word? Put a dimension here. Let's do 5. And actually, we don't need that much. We could just fill it up from here to here. That's way cleaner. No dimension needed. And now we say extrude into the other direction, through all, and solid remove. There we go. Now the only thing we're missing are 3 holes for the bolt to go through. And there's a super correct way of doing it, and we don't care that much way of doing it. Let me explain both. So, if we see it from the front, we got this curve, right? And I mean, if you grab the PVC tube and you want to make a hole, you just grab a drill and you put a hole, right? Now, if you have the PVC tube and you create a hole right here, that's great because it's like aligned with the center, right? But if you do it like this, then the hole is not that much perfect because you, like, the bolt, the nut's gonna be like sideways a bit. And so what you want to do is make a hole that is aligned to the center, and that's something we should take care of in our Plaque here, and that's definitely something we can do. Here, here, here. So the 3 holes should be just a bit different. You're gonna be tilted with an angle. The only one that's not gonna be tilted is the one here because that's the middle of the Plaque. So I'm thinking if we do that one and then we rotate it, maybe that's just what we need. What is this? Frame, plane, fill, offset surface. All right, let's do the first one. All right, so I'm gonna go to the, actually I'm gonna use this plane. It's gonna be actually useful. Sketch, see it from the bottom. Let's make a circle right here. Oh, actually, now we can say that the dimension of this hole is gonna be M3 hole. So that's the cool thing about variables. Oh, wait. Edit, there we are. Now, where do we want it? Let's project this line. No. Project this line. Make a line from here to here. These 2 lines should be construction lines. And now we can measure from here to here. Let's do a 5. Should we do a 5? Should we do a 6? I think 6 is better. We just have to think about the head of the bolt not to pop out of the Plaque. Okay, actually I don't think it matters that much, the little hole. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw with the Plaque in the PVC and then you're gonna drill. So for practicity purposes, we're gonna make it this way, which is way simpler. We're gonna project this line and this line just for us to get a center point. These 2 lines should remain, well, I mean, at the end we can do that. Let's get the center of this triangle. We can do that by going, okay, wait. The whole outline of the Plaque, we should bring it with projection. Project. Now we say from here, actually I messed it up. All right, so let's do something. I'm gonna delete this line. I'm gonna bring the circle here so it doesn't bother us. Now we're gonna make line from here to here, line from middle point to middle point, and last, and it should all match up, is from middle point to middle point. There we go. Now all the lines that I drew, I'm gonna make them construction, and now this little circle is gonna be at 6 millimeters from here. Oh, what is that rectangle about? That's so weird. Okay, what if I say, hey, from this dot to this dot? Yeah, that's better. 6. Good. And now I'm gonna create a point just like we did before. Put it right here in the middle. And then we're gonna say, hey circle, please array yourself. Bring the center here. Oh, 3, 120, perfect. Great. And then we say the circle, extrude, remove, solid. Oh, great. Say through all. Great. There we go. That's our plaque. Now we should put it in our whole design. Actually, I don't know what is this? I don't know what that is. Sketch 2, sketch 1, sketch 8, sketch 7, sketch 6, sketch 8. No idea. Well, we don't care. Let's go to the assembly. And then here, insert, tripod base. Let's put it here. And now let's say, hey, you face and you face. Oh, wait, what? Insert. Let's do it again. How many parts do I have? Okay. Tripod base. There it is. I don't know why these things remain here. Let's say yes. Let's grab this face and this face and keep it cylindrical. This face, as I said, and this face. There we go. Solve, yes. Now we can put it here. I don't know why these lines are here. They shouldn't be. Now we can say, hey, from this face and this face, I want a distance parallel fastened. Well, I want this one parallel from this face and this face parallel. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, something went wrong. I have 2 cylindricals. That's not good. Alright, that's good now. I got... So I think it worked. Yeah, it's working. Good. Alright. Well, alright, so good enough. That's how you do the tripod plaque. See ya.